You know what can feel tough is all of the options for exercise out there. It's like it causes you to feel stuck sometimes, and it causes you to feel like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what the right thing to do is. I don't know if I should be doing cardio, or if I should be lifting weights, or if I should be doing body weight exercises, or if I should be strength training with weights. I don't know what kind of cardio I should do. Like, the list goes on and on and on, and it can be really overwhelming, especially when you're starting an exercise routine. And you know, as you go on in your routine, you're going to hear a lot of different advice. Like, everybody has advice when it comes to exercise. Some good, some not so good, some in the middle, and a lot of it is opinion. And so exercise is a really personal thing. And when you think about, okay, why do I want to exercise? Like, what is my goal for exercising? That's going to help you so much. So, I am a non diet fitness and body image coach. So, I don't focus on dieting. And for a lot of you, you may be like, she doesn't focus on dieting. Like, why? What's the problem? Dieting tends to be a long term cycle for a lot of people. It was meant to be this short term thing, and along the way, it got turned into this long term thing. And so, dieting has become a chronic part of our society. And there can be a lot of undernourishing and food restriction and food rules and anxiousness around food, and that's a whole other topic. But it's important because when you have the mindset of, I am doing this for weight loss purposes, or I am doing this just to look a certain way, then your focus goes more toward calorie burn and just solely doing exercise based on wanting to look a certain way or having muscle definition. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just that when your focus is only about your weight and your size and the physical appearance, it takes away from part of the joy and the carefree feelings around exercise. And it also takes away from that drive and that motivation to keep going when things get hard. Because if your body's not responding the way you think it should, then it may feel really hard for you to keep showing up. And it may start to feel like a drag, and then you get burnt out, and then you lose your zest for exercise. And that's what happened to me. That's what happened to me several years ago. I was just solely working out to look a certain way, to be a certain size. Um, and I lost my joy for fitness and exercise. It just took it away. And so that was one time, or one point in time, when I realized I need to do something different, and I need to rethink how I am living my life, in the sense that, do I want to do this forever, as far as be so focused on my body? And as a mom, I thought about, well, what about my kids? Would I want this for my kids? Would I want them to be so stressed about their bodies? Would I want them to show up for their health versus physical appearance? And so my why for exercise changed over the course of years. My why went from wanting to look a certain way, maintain a weight, all of this stuff, to health, mental well being, strength, confidence, being an example for my kids. So it became deeply personal, and it became more about the inside, the things that are keeping you alive. That's really why we want to exercise. That's what exercise is meant to do. It's there to support your well-being. It's there to strengthen your bones and help your heart and your lungs and your brain health. And yes, it can be very powerful for mental well-being. It can be great in so many ways if we allow it to. And so when you think about, like, okay, I'm new to exercise, where do I start? I'm so overwhelmed. You start with trying something. because you just have to try something. Like you just have to take some sort of action. Because if you're not taking any action, you're never going to learn anything. So you have to just start by taking action. Okay, let's say you have a friend or a coworker who takes an exercise class. Go with them one time. See how that feels. Now, you're not going to be able to totally gauge it from one time, but you can get sort of a vibe when you do something. And a lot of times you may feel this really positive, energetic vibe, or sometimes it may be like, I don't know, this just might not be the space for me. I don't know if this is necessarily something that I want to do. I'll try it again and we'll see. And maybe right now, a certain kind of exercise isn't what you're wanting or what you're needing. And so you could always revisit it another time, right? But um, I like more active workouts. And by that, I mean things that are a little faster paced. I like to do kind of a variety of workouts, but for me, something like yoga or Pilates isn't as appealing to me because I like a more upbeat type exercise session versus slower. Now, that being said, I incorporate a lot of stretching into my routine. And so there are pieces of yoga or pieces of Pilates intermixed in my exercise routines or like post workout type stuff. But as far as like an actual workout, I tend to move toward other things. And that's just me. And there are tons of people that love yoga or Pilates or whatever. So find what works for you and be willing to try different things. Is body weight, are body weight exercises better than strength training with weights? One is not better than the other. You are focusing on strength with both. You are focusing on resistance training with both. One, you're using equipment. One, you're not using equipment. Body weight exercises are extremely effective as far as muscle mass, bone health, all of those things. You don't have to have weights in order to strength train. Body weight exercises are awesome. So, especially if you're starting out, you may not have any kind of equipment, no problem. I've got body weight workouts. You can do some of those workouts, get going, get into your routine, try some out, see what you think. And anything that you can do with weights, you can pretty much do body weight. It's just eliminating the barbells or the bar, whatever it may be. So, you can do squats, lunges, push-ups, tricep push-ups. You can do shoulder raises. You can do lateral raises. You can do all kinds of things. You can do bicep curls. You're just doing it without weight, but you can, tense your muscles up and you can resist, have that resistance as you're doing it. So don't feel like if you don't have weights that you're not going to get a good strength session in, because you totally, totally can. Another question is, when it comes to cardio, what kind of cardio should I do? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter at the end of the day. If you're exercising for health reasons, it really doesn't matter what kind of cardio you like. So let me ask you this. When I say running, what is your first thought? What's the first thing? Like fun, exciting, awesome, sucks, hate it, won't do it. It's one or the other. It's typically like one or the other. There's no middle ground when it comes to running. Now, what if I say walking? What comes to mind for you? What if I say run/walk? Or what if I say jogging? Does jogging hit differently than running? You don't have to do running. Just because I like to run doesn't mean you have to like to run. And just because you like yoga doesn't mean I have to like yoga. So you may be seeing a lot of people running. You may see people running around your city or on their treadmill, on social media, whatever. That doesn't mean you have to run. You don't have to do what other people are doing. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. It doesn't matter. You can do something else. You can go for a walk. You can decide what kind of intensity you would like for your walk. If you go slower, if you go faster, if you want to incorporate some hills into your walks, you get to choose. You could even add in a few jogging intervals if you choose, but you don't have to. You could do boxing as far as cardio, or kickboxing. I have kickboxing workouts on my channel. Check those out. I love kickboxing. You could jump rope. You could do mountain climbers. You could do burpees. Not my favorite. That's just me. But burpees, you could do those. Anything that's getting your heart rate elevated, you're getting more into a cardiovascular zone. So you can choose what kind of cardio works for you. You can do some cardio, some strength. The recommendation is currently 2 days a week of strength training. Now, if you are somebody who hasn't been exercising, I highly suggest starting with 1 day a week of exercise to start building that habit and that consistency. Then it's not going to overwhelm you. Then once you achieve that 1 day a week of exercise over the course of, let's say, the next month, you're going to feel like you are hitting a goal. You can celebrate that and you feel like you're getting momentum, and then you can bump it up to 2 days. And then you can just keep increasing it as you see fit. So your question may be, how long should I exercise each day? The recommendation is 150 minutes per week. Now, hold on. That may feel very overwhelming right now. We're not going to focus on that right now. You're just going to focus on showing up for 1 day a week right now. And your max may be 5 minutes to start out. It's okay. You're going to start building and building and building momentum. But if you can start with 5 minutes a day, that's fine. If you can do 15 minutes a day, great. You have to see what your baseline is right now and where you're at, and meet yourself where you are so that you can keep continuing to build on that. Now, if you can do a 30-minute workout and you're starting out with 1 day a week, okay, cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. You know that you're going to be able to do more as time goes on. And that more may look different in different ways. That may mean more days during the week. That may mean increasing your time during those workouts. It may mean changing up your workouts. It's going to be all different kinds of things. But again, focus on you. Don't focus on everybody else. So just because someone likes to go to the gym doesn't mean you have to go to a gym. You can exercise in the comfort of your home. Just equally great workouts. One is not better than the other. I like to work out at home. My preference is at home. Now, years ago, I was going to a gym, but I never liked it. I never liked the gym atmosphere. I never felt comfortable. So then many years ago, when I shifted to working out at home, that has felt so much better for me. I like to exercise alone. I'm a solo exerciser. I like to run by myself. I like to, not talk during workouts. I don't like a bunch of chatter while I'm exercising. It's my time. I focus on what I'm doing, and I either listen to a podcast or some music, and I get irritated if I'm like having to talk and carry on conversation during a workout, because it just decreases my focus, and I like to focus on what I'm doing. So if you're wondering, should I do a gym? Should I work out at home? You choose which works for you. Some people thrive with being around other people in that kind of setting, in a gym setting, in a class setting. Some people thrive by themselves. And so then you would be like, okay, so home workouts would work better for me, because being around all of those people, it just wouldn't feel as good to me. And again, over time, you may switch from one to the other. It's just about doing what works for you. So at the end of the day, you have to do what is best for you. Don't let everything overwhelm you. Don't let all of the noise around you overwhelm you, and what people's opinions might be. And just because your neighbor or your cousin or your coworker or whomever are doing one kind of workout or some program, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. They're not living your life, you're not living theirs. And in order to be well, you do not need to be on a diet. You do not have to be on a diet to be well. The focus is eating a variety of foods, nourishing your body, giving yourself that energy so that you can show up for workouts, and hydrating your body and trying, different things that are maybe a little bit outside of your comfort zone. It's going to feel really challenging in the beginning. Anytime we have some sort of routine change or do something different, we resist. There's going to be this resistance a bit, and you'll feel that eventually. You'll be excited to start, then you're going to start feeling the resistance, and that's where you're going to be like, okay, Sarah told me this would happen. It's okay, it's normal, and I'm going to work through it. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep showing up and taking care of myself. Because when you shift the focus from what your body looks like and being a certain size or focusing on weight loss to it being about health, strength, confidence, overall well being, you will show up differently and it will feel so much better.